This is Monday. Must be the 30th, I guess. We just got the slight break to try to get things fed. Got 5 big bales out. Yeah, it's a little damp, a little windy. Probably should have put one in that feeder too, but you know what? Right now, no. We're gonna get that chaff cleaned up off these 2 pieces of plastic and get them out of here before they blow away. I just come back in here with the tractor and the cedar tree around the corner here to my left. It was dancing really good. Good enough that I'm going to be surprised if it didn't break some branches off. And the rain last night, made it almost 15 feet inside here. And that's with the straw stack protecting it. Nice weather. Just peachy. There, you can see that cedar tree. It's kind of wrapped around to one side there. So, anyway, there's the chaff chariot. I don't know why she didn't dump the water out of it, but it's still full of water and junk. We'll take care of that in a minute. More to come. Well, okay, you saw us set this in here. Maybe. I don't know. I know I videoed picking it up. I didn't get a chance to do any measuring before. And, yeah. I've been trying to get that pump mounted up. I got one bracket done. I think I gotta open a hole up a little bigger. I love it when you can't actually get to something to measure it, so you're stabbing in the dark on it, and you're off a 1/4 inch. This thing here, I just happen to think, after we just fed and picked up some chaff, wonderful weather outside, the wind just died down. My tape measure was laying in here instead of in my pocket where it belongs. And I thought about it when I was walking out of the other barn where the tires for the buggy are sitting. I needed to measure that, so I had to come find my tape. Yeah. You know, it's kind of like your flange covers. You set them down and don't know where you put it. I found it, went measured. I've got right at 17.5 inches maximum that the drums can be. And guess what? They're like 18.5. It's kind of looking. I might be able, I don't know if I can put them on our lathe or not. I don't think there's enough swing room on ours. I think it's a 14 inch and these won't fit, but I know a guy that could do it. He's got a big enough lathe. Probably wouldn't hammer me too hard on it. I may end up having to take that ridge off and maybe a little bit of the drum. I hate to do too much because kind of need that surface or it don't go pop. But I can always change things around a little bit. I don't know. So we're either stuck having to fix that other rear end or do some work on this. I already know I got to replace that other drum. I do have one, not a big deal. I got one left on a carcass out back. It's just an empty shell of a front driver. I already rubbed one end off to fix one of the trucks, so no big deal. That's where my air cans are for this too, by the way. I already got them. Just got to take them off there and put them on here. But if I can't use this, I can't use it. And that sticks me with juice brakes. Juice brakes are like wet batteries. I don't like them. They're a pain in the butt. But if I got to go that route, I got to go that route. With the exception of new cylinders for that rear end that came out of this thing. I've got brand new master cylinders upstairs that are made for the bigger brakes. Leftovers from when we gave up on the juice brakes on the fertilizer buggy about 5 years ago and converted it to air. Which we just threw another rear end underneath it and scrapped the one that was there. Which was my plan for this buggy. Yeah. I know some of you are going to say, oh, if you turn those drums down, they won't be strong enough. The brakes will pop them. Well, this is not something that's intended for over-the-road use. It's not government regulated. I only have to have things adjusted up tight enough that they work properly. They don't have to be uptight. If I leave them loose, they're not going to get that much pressure on it. At least they shouldn't. Worst thing is the spring brakes when you got the park locked. And I'm kind of wondering about this one anyway. I think it may need new seal and a new bearing in the nose cone, which isn't any big deal. Get the rust and crap cleaned up around it and just take the nose off. If I can get the pinion nut off. But then I guess I don't have to take the pinion nut off till I get the whole thing out. That's not that bad. I just got to think about it. I think there's 6 bolts and that thing comes off, then you can play with it. Wouldn't be the first time. So, I'm kind of waiting for number 1, because I'm going to make her help me wiggle on that pump over there. We got done cleaning the chaff up, and its little trailer on the bike is full of decent enough chaff to feed probably feed to that one young cow with the 15th calf on her. Still no new babies yet. Let's see, today I stuck number 1 with cleaning the feed barn. Well, I worked on that, getting that pump mounted on the trailer. I still gotta dig out another pump so I can get the control panel off of it to run this one. It better be a big enough panel for it. It came off of a 25 horse to begin with, an old 25 horse, so this is a lot newer pump. It ought to be able to handle it. But anyway, cows are fed. Weather's cruddy. If we had better enough weather, we could turn some cows out on pasture. We would definitely make it through on hay. I'm still not sure if we're going to make it. Say if we don't, there's a few ton of small bales in here. I hate feeding them. And number 1's fiance still has, I think, 200 small bales left, which that'll be enough to get us through if we need them. He's been not advertising because he knows we're right at that oh crud point. I don't like this. I'd rather have a full bay left in the big bale barn than coming in the new. Because generally whatever's left in there is good, and if it gets carried over for a year or 2, big deal. We've carried some over for 3 years before, just the way it worked out. Anyway, I'm just babbling. Dog's laying down here where number 1 was cleaning stuff up so she can get full of junk. And she'll want to come in the house tonight, and then she'll want to lay in bed with me. You know how they are. Yeah, they don't care. They just bring it in with them. So I still got to figure what to do with this. I know they slipped those frickin' 19-inch wheels on some, but 19-inch with the drop in it, you're going to be down to 17 and a half. I don't know if they just have a smaller brake altogether on them or what. But I got to do some butt scratching and some more measuring, and I just got a feeling when you look at that. I figured, get my finger in the right place, this would work at this part here. But when you look, this is a lot thicker. And when you get to this part over here, it's still heavier than what's here. So it might not be able to happen. And I thought about centrifuge drums. Got a couple little trucks that ran those, and they're made a little different. But I think by the time you got the ribs on those, I think they're just about as thick. I know they'll usually work for low clearance areas, but I'm just not real sure. So I may still be screwed. It may be that one sitting outside. And all I know to do on that is to cut it apart to get it apart. You know, at least with air brakes, you can get to the mechanism and break it loose. But with juice brakes, you don't have that luxury. Because with this, I mean, worst comes to worst, you get them loosened off. There's 4 bolts that hold that S-cam housing on. You can always get that apart. And if the shoes are stuck, you're right here. Sledgehammer and a big punch and work your way around that. They'll break loose eventually. I know I've done it before. Any of you guys in the cold parts of the country, you know how that is. You can beat on the drum all day long. If they're froze up good, you ain't going to do it. You got to sneak in and pop her sideways. So, anyway, that's enough rambling. Just another Manic Monday, as they say. I didn't need to figure this part out. I really wish those other wheels were a little bigger, but it is what it is. So, hey, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment. Maybe somebody knows something different about these that I don't know. Like I say, I think 17.5 will fit, but you know, these things are like 18.5 or 19. I think they're 18.5. It's, you know, with it on there, it's hard to measure. I got a set of calipers that'll measure farther than that. I got some 24-inch calipers, but unfortunately, you know, they don't reach that far as down into it. I don't know that I can get them around the axle enough to measure it. So, life in the fast lane. Thanks for watching, everybody.